I went from making $2,000 per month to making over $50,000 a month by my 25th birthday. No trust fund, no magic app, no crypto moonshot. I used these 8 rules to help me get ahead of 99% of people and make money fast without needing a big resume. Here's the deal. Most young people stay broke because they follow broken rules. They take advice from people that haven't achieved the thing that they want, and they follow those rules, but the system's broken. In this video, I want to show you the rules of the top 1%, so that way you can get ahead of 99% of your peers, make so much money, and have so much success that it feels elite. Let's dive in. Starting with rule number 1. Find painful problems that people pay a lot of money to remove. Here's the deal. In life, you want to have the painkiller, not the vitamin. The vitamin is what you take here and there when you remember to take the vitamin. But that painkiller, every single damn time you get that headache, you're taking the painkiller. When I first went to market with my software company, Albi, I was selling that product as restoration productivity software. And we had a hard time getting it off the ground. But the minute I took the same product and positioned it as the software that restoration businesses can't get leads, can't get paid, and can't do a lot of work with less employees without, our sales just absolutely skyrocketed. Our company literally went from being worth 0 to $60 million within 3 years. Look, there's a fundamental belief that your value is a small percentage of the value that you create within the world. And the biggest value you can create in the world is removing people's pains and being that painkiller. Humans do things for 2 reasons. 1 is to avoid pain, or 2 is to seek pleasure. And the reality is, people will do a lot more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. So right now in this video, I want you to find a huge pain that you're going to be really good at potentially solving. So grab a piece of paper. You can pause this video if you need to, and list 5 huge pains that have come up in the world around you. Write down 5, 10, 15, 20 of them. Just get in flow. So the next thing you want to do is rank them by financial cost and urgency. So for example, if 2 of your problems were mowing the neighbor's lawn or detailing the neighbor's Ferrari, clearly detailing the neighbor's Ferrari has a higher urgency and a higher cost associated with it. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick that top pain and go find a way to solve it first. But you can't solve that problem and truly be the painkiller, not the vitamin, without understanding rule number 2, which is sell speed, not perfection. Look, here's the deal. Successful people get to the thing first and do the thing first. They fail, they learn from it, then they pivot. Whereas not successful people try to create this perfect way to solve the problem and never end up trying to solve the problem in the first place because they're stuck in la la land trying to figure out this perfect way. I have a core philosophy, and one of my keys to success is I move fucking fast. Like, idea pops up into my head right now. Within 30 seconds, it's live, and something's happening with that idea. Now, it might not be the most successful thing in the world, and it might fall flat on its face, but hey, I went from 0 to 1 within 30 seconds. Nobody else has that superpower. And that is actually why I'm ahead of 99% of people. Because of the fact that by the time those 99% of people have crafted their solution on pen and paper, I'm already in the market getting real life feedback and either winning or failing with it. Now here's the deal. When I launched my group coaching program, all it was a calendar invite for 30 minutes on my calendar, and that's it. Didn't really have a playbook, didn't really know what I was talking about. But my mentor, Dan Martell, told me, hey, like, do it that way and then get feedback from your audience, go sell it, and they'll tell you how to make it better. That's exactly what I did. Pixelated slides, little like iPad coming up, doodling in front of people. But I sold $3,200 that week and brought in real life customers that gave me the feedback that I needed to iterate upon my product. I couldn't have done that if I waited for 6 months to develop the best curriculum. And what if I developed that best curriculum and it wouldn't really land with my customer? You must move quick. So here's the deal. Perfect is profit's biggest rival. Here's 3 things that you could do right now to get to things fast and avoid perfection. Think of your next offer that you're going to give to that painful problem and set a 7-day deadline to come up with what is that offer. Is it that I'm going to clean your Ferrari for $50 every single week? 7 days. Clock starts now. Step number 2 is ship the minimum product that delivers the result. Don't overpromise the perfect ceramic coating or all those extra details. Just say, hey, look, you got a problem, dirty car. I fixed your dirty car. I clean it. Don't worry about how necessarily, and just go sell that. And then step number 3 is then you're going to iterate upon that. So when the client says, hey, look, you didn't polish my leather seats and I need some extra polish on the leather seats, you can go to the store and buy the leather conditioner then and then add that to your service. But don't try to focus on making it perfect. Literally simplify it and just go speed to market as fast as possible, unapologetically. Now that we're moving fast, let's move on to rule number 3, which will make sure that we're absorbing information fast. Now, here's the deal. You don't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none. Pick one skill, don't dabble into multiple. Here's what's awesome. Focusing in on high-income skills is what will help you build wealth as a young person. So here's 3 steps that you could take right now to find and build that high-income skill. Step number 1, pick a skill that has $100 an hour plus potential. And I'll actually give you 2 to start. If you're a charismatic individual, look at sales. Cold, hard sales, whether it's cold calling or door-to-door sales, like that will make you unstoppable. Or in today's day and age, learn AI and prompt engineering. One of those 2 will guaranteed make you a millionaire blazing fast. Second step is block 1 to 2 hours a day for 30 days in a row. Non-negotiable. You have to do the reps to learn the skill. And step number 3 is go to ChatGPT and tell it, I'm a newbie in door-to-door sales or AI prompt engineering. Act like a person with 20 years of experience in this domain. I have 2 hours per day for the next 30 days to learn everything I can and apply. Give me a step-by-step framework of everything that I have to learn. And what it will do is bananas. It will literally give you a 30-day, 2-hour-a-day course, and it will be your best, most relevant teacher to learn all these things. Now that we have the skill locked in, let's move on to rule number 4. Charge for the result, not for your time. So the goal here is to sell the destination, the feeling that the person would have when that outcome is done. The clean Ferrari or the $1 million of annual reoccurring revenue. When I was 15, I once billed this limo company $2,000 for 8 hours worth of work to build a website. Absolutely bananas. Now that one limo website, what I did is I typed limo company in Chicago in white text over a white background over and over and over again. And the Google algorithms picked up that website and made that limo company show up number 1 on Google and make millions of dollars of sales. It felt like a cheat code, but what I learned at that point was that the amount of hours spent on the website didn't matter. It was the results that that website brought that mattered. And I, as a 15-year-old kid, was able to outbeat some of the professional hourly website agencies out there because I delivered the result. Look, there's 2 types of people in the world. People that buy hours and people that buy outcomes. The people you want to be around are the people that buy outcomes and don't care about the hours. You don't want to be on somebody else's hamster wheel, just showing up to Mr. Jones's house just to be a friend to Mr. Jones. You want to show up to Mr. Jones's house to solve their specific outcome and be out of that house as quickly as possible. So here's 3 steps you can tactically attack right now to make sure that you're not stuck on the hourly hamster wheel. Step number 1 is to ask the prospect, if this works as it should, what's it worth to you? And ask multiple questions to stretch the pain there. So if you're in the website building business or in the AI bot business, ask your prospect, if this bot actually works and it answers your phone successfully, what is that worth for you? And you could use things like the REAL framework where you can go into how much more revenue can that produce for the prospect? What expenses is it helping avoid for the prospect? What other things, avoidance, is it avoiding, like interest or certain pains? And then how much time, energy, and effort, lift, does it take to actually put in? And once you quantify what it's worth, then you earn the right to charge 10 to 20% if it works. So that's step number 2, is charge 10 to 20%. So that way that prospect gets a 5 to 10x ROI, return on investment, on the work that you actually do. And then step number 3, give up the hourly. Don't even think about hourly. That's the old way of doing things. In today's gig economy, and in today's economy, people are going to pay for outcomes, and that's what the future is going to be like. And it doesn't matter how much or how long it's going to take for you to do that. Now, here's the deal. Bigger outcomes mean bigger rooms. So let's get into them. Which brings me to rule number 5. Join rooms where money moves. Look, here's the deal. If you're the best athlete on your team, go find another team. There's that quote of, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So it's up to you to pick the other 4 people that are ahead of you. And if they are, they actually end up blending you up. Whereas if those 4 people are behind you, they're actually going to pull you down. And that's one thing that's been my superpower, helping me get ahead of 99% of people, was just simply getting into rooms. And I would fight to get into bigger rooms. I was in Dan Martell's SaaS Academy coaching program, and I was at about $1 to $2 million revenue at the time. And I fought tooth and nail to get leveled up to their boardroom program, because I had already sucked up all the content within SaaS Academy, and I was the star of SaaS Academy. And I didn't want to sit there and be like the star of like sharing with everybody. I wanted a room that would actually challenge me. And even though I was below the threshold of $3 million that they requested, I banged on that door and I asked Dan to accept me into boardroom. And he did. And it cost me $72,000 to get into that room. But getting into that room was so well worth it. I left that room with 3 connections. One of them helped me raise over $20 million for my software company. The other one of them helped me write the restoration industry's best-selling book, Restoration Millionaire. And the last one was a recruiter that helped me hire 4 6-figure key hires within my business that helped me triple my business over the next 12 months. My network became my net worth. The fastest way up is actually sideways into bigger rooms. Now, here's how to find the room and level up. Step number 1 is identify where your tribe, the successful people that have done the thing that you're trying to do already, hang out. All of your problems are literally who problems, not how problems. You don't have to figure out how to solve the problem. You just gotta go find the person that was you, who's already solved the problem, and go hang out with that person. Second thing is, go get into the room. And trust me, even if it costs you money, the best investment that you can do is to get into that room. Once you're in the room, you have to play all out in the room. You have to ask questions to learn from the people, because just simply being in the room won't magically level you up through osmosis. And then you also have to pour into the room, give back to the room, right? So it's kind of a two-way street. You show up, you celebrate your wins, you thank people for the information that they've given you. You also ask all the questions to unblock you, and then you go execute ruthlessly. Anybody who's made it to the top always wants to send the elevator back down. And your job when you're in that room is to ride that elevator up and down, up and down, up and down. Now that you're in the right rooms, let's make sure that that income sticks. Which brings me to rule number 6, stack reoccurring income. So I didn't understand reoccurring income until I built my software company and my coaching company. But you essentially build once, and then you charge over and over and over and over again. So any offer you've made so far, you could literally transform into a reoccurring offer. All you do is you switch from one time I do this for that to a reoccurring subscription product. So an example of what I did was when I ran a snow removal business when I was 16, all my competitors would charge per push. And every time they'd go out, they would charge $50 to clean up the snow. I went into a seasonal contract where I would charge $4,000 per season. And check this out. When it snowed 8 times in Chicago, my competitors were making $400, 8 times 50, and I was making $4,000 because I offered that subscription service. And I offered it every single season, so I got back and sold those same clients, so I renewed them, and I had guaranteed income every single season thereafter. So instead of chasing those big, juicy one-off jobs, chase that reoccurring revenue as that baseline grows and it compounds. Now that you understand the reoccurring revenue concept, it's time to raise the ceiling. Which brings me to rule number 7. Raise prices until you feel resistance. So the goal in everything that you do, even though society tells you the cheapest is always who wins, the reality is you want to find that ceiling and charge the most amount of money for the product or service that you have. Be the most expensive in everything that you do. This allows you to be the most profitable, and then if you're a good person, which I know you are, you'll be able to reinvest back into your product and service and make it that much better for your customers. I don't do anything cheap. Albi is the most expensive restoration software solution out there. The Restoration Mastermind is the most expensive coaching program. But here's the deal. Albi replaces 20 other software solutions and employs 60 rock-solid employees that really love the restoration industry, and we're truly moving an entire industry forward. Evolve hosts the best events within the restoration industry and has an incredible community that's also moving the industry forward. And Restoration Millionaire was a bestseller because I was able to charge what I needed to charge to hire the people that would help me move fast and do exactly everything that I was talking about in this video. Premium products give you premium profits, so that way you can reinvest those premium profits and make your product that much better. You're essentially using your customers to fuel your growth. Look, you can't make high impact with really low margins. Raising prices guarantees that you have the best product and the best customer. Period. Full stop. And here's the thing, capital isn't just about cash. It's about the capital that you're able to gain to build the best people, to build the best business that builds the best product and serves the absolute best customers. So here's what you got to do to raise your prices. Step number 1, raise your prices every single quarter. Simple, not easy. Step number 2 is expect some no's. You're gonna have some people to tell you to F off, that you're too expensive, and that's totally fine. If you're too much, have them go find less. And then step number 3 is keep the clients who see value and then ask them more questions as to what would make you even more valuable. Now here's the deal. With a higher price comes higher stakes. Now it's time to sell those prospects the dream, not the tool. Which brings me to rule number 8. Sell the transformation, not the tools. So here's the deal. In every business, there's the hardcore real value, and then there's the intangible fictional value that business has. Think of Walt Disney World, for example. The roller coasters and the bare metals and the stuffed animals are worth only so much. But because of the fact that it's the most magical place on earth, it is actually worth a lot more. So your goal is to sell the after photo, the dream, the concept of the most magical product or service in the world. I stopped selling restoration sales strategies and started selling double your restoration business without burning out. And when I did that, my close rate literally doubled. Here's the deal. Nobody buys the hammer. They buy the house that it builds. So here's how you can go from selling the hammer to the dream house that it actually builds. So the first thing that you could do is rewrite your offer to a before and after statement. We help restoration business owners go from broke to multimillionaires. Notice the dream and the before and after that it helps there. We help Ferrari owners go from dirty Ferraris to squeaky clean Ferraris. Make that result vivid, super specific, and emotional. And then show the proof on how it's actually possible. Now that you've sold your dream, it's time to use that dream to buy back your time. Which brings me to rule number 9, which is actually a bonus rule because I promised you guys 8 rules, but I wanted to throw one more in here. And this was so geniusly explained by one of my mentors, Dan Martell, who wrote the book, Buy Back Your Time. It's literally the book on this. But you literally follow the loop of you make money to buy back your time, and then you use that time to go make more money. And once you follow that loop over and over again, it's the ultimate value creation playbook. So here's the deal. Freedom is the ultimate ROI. And that's what I desire for each and every one of you guys, more than I desire for you guys to be ahead of the world or even make more money. If you can have complete freedom over how you spend your time, energy, emotions, you're truly a successful person. And that's, I think, the ultimate definition of success. So here's the deal. Your calendar is your personal balance sheet. It's like a personal bank account of all of your time. And in there, you can see where all the transactions happen with your time. The first expenses you should always spend once you start making some sort of money is on those time-saving expenses. So hiring a VA to take care of that boring work that you really don't want to do, that's sucking out your energy and not really bringing a lot of value to what you're doing, you should absolutely do. So if you start getting a bunch of phone calls from customers, hiring a VA to answer those phone calls and triage those phone calls is absolutely huge. Hiring that VA to help do your bookkeeping and your accounting and your taxes and all that other boring stuff that you just do not like to do. It doesn't light you up and doesn't bring you value. You should totally outsource. Now here's the deal. That only works if you actually reinvest the time that you saved back into your business, right? Because if you just buy back that time and then go play video games or scroll on social media, it doesn't quite work that way. And then what you want to do is protect that time like a paycheck. You're never going to receive a single penny more than what you think you deserve. So make sure that you're protecting all that time. And congratulations, you made it to the end of this video. You now have all the tools that you need to run 99% faster than everyone else. Now make sure that you keep that pace. Beating 99% of people isn't just about bragging rights. It's about freedom. The freedom to build anything you want, the freedom to help anybody without begging for permission. And I know that you deserve that freedom. If this lit a fire inside of you, hit that subscribe button or comment below, and I'll begin my personal mission to continue adding fuel to that fire to help you become the unstoppable you that everyone deserves to see. I'll see you on the other side.